This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. I'm Marek Mazurek. Officials in Kokomo broke ground Tuesday on a major downtown development project that has been more than a decade in the making. The project includes a 55,000 square foot conference center that can hold up to 1,000 guests, as well as a 100-plus room Hilton Garden Inn hotel. The project is a partnership among the Greater Kokomo Alliance and Visitors Bureau, the City of Kokomo, Howard County, and Lafayette-based SSG hotels. Officials say the total project cost will be at least $50 million. Sherry Matlock, general manager of the Greater Kokomo Visitors Bureau, told Inside Indiana Business the project will help drive the local economy and economic development through visitor travel.
Bringing in new visitors through attracting meetings and conferences, which is a market that we're currently not in at the moment, will really boost our local economy through the visitor spending that the visitors bring through local businesses, shops, hotels, restaurants. And then also supporting our established businesses in our community by those visitors coming into the community. So it will not only boost our local economy through visitor spending, but also supply a need that we currently have in our community.
Construction is expected to take 18 to 20 months to complete. Last week, the University of Evansville officially opened Lincoln Commons, a student housing apartment complex for juniors and seniors. The new facility will house 123 students, as well as a self-serve frozen yogurt shop and a Qdoba. Dr. Rachel Carpenter, the university's dean of students, said the university wanted to prepare for increased enrollment and needed to upgrade housing.
College students today are making different kinds of decisions than even 10, 15, 20 years ago. I think that that's due to the market changes. A lot of institutions have been investing in the last particularly 10 years in their residential facilities. And so the university really wanted to make sure as a part of the master plan that it involved updating our residential facilities.
To prepare for the Lincoln Commons development, several campus buildings were raised. Carpenter said that was necessary since the new Lincoln Commons adds more capacity. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, your bold future starts here. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, our Engage Indiana events take place in every region of the state. Discover when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/engage.
City leaders in Michigan City have a major task on their hands as they consider what to do with the soon-to-be vacated site of the Indiana State Prison. Construction began last fall on the new $1.2 billion correctional facility in Westville that will serve as a new home for both the state prison and the Westville Correctional Facility. Now, leaders up the road in Michigan City are forming a team of consultants, architects, and designers to create a master plan for what will go on the site of that prison once it moves south. On Monday, the Economic Development Corporation of Michigan City announced that Farr Associates in Architecture, Terra Engineering, Zimmerman Volk Associates, and Sam Schwartz Engineering, among others, are joining the team of professionals who will make the plan. The EDCMC got Ready Grant funding to help plan the prison's next steps. The Westfield City Council on Monday night voted 4-3 to reject a plan by West Fork Whiskey Company to develop a new housing and commercial district around its distillery north of Grand Park Sports Campus. West Fork and Columbus, Ohio-based homebuilder MI Homes, Inc. had proposed building more than 100 townhomes, a whiskey aging warehouse, a pond, an outdoor concert venue, a dog park, and a commercial development on about 26 acres east of the intersection of East 191st Street and Horton Road. In 2022, West Fork opened an $11 million facility featuring the Mash House restaurant and a cocktail lounge. Westfield Mayor Scott Willis criticized inconsistencies in plans presented by the developers, calling it, quote, very discombobulated. And the city of Gary's lawsuit against a range of gun makers and dealers can continue. The Capitol Chronicle reports a Lake County judge ruled Monday that a law passed in March by the Indiana legislature, quote, cannot end this lawsuit. The law was the legislature's third attempt to kill the lawsuit and lets only the Indiana Attorney General sue the firearm industry. The law was retroactive to August of 1999, 3 days before Gary filed its lawsuit. But Judge John Sedilla found the law's retroactive nature violates the state's constitution and that the suit must be taken to its natural conclusion. The suit targets Glock, Smith & Wesson, and several other large gun makers and accuses them of failing to address illegal gun sales. The suit was one of several filed by U.S. cities against gun manufacturers in the late 1990s. In the years since, federal laws inspired by the firearms lobby have killed all other lawsuits except Gary's. Judge Sedilla was appointed to the bench by former Governor Mitch Daniels in 2012. Longtime Indiana Golf Executive Director Mike David is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast hosted by Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.